Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the latest best randomizer day. I don't say daily race. No, it's a league race. So used to that. Tonight we have the French Canadians represented by Ninban versus Team Link finds a way, represented by OvidiusNaso. I hope I pronounced that right. And this is week 2 of the randomizer league season. So we have an Ambrosia for you. So to start things off, standard. We'll have a sword to start with. Defeat Ganon, 7 crystals to get to Ganon's tower and defeat Ganon. And it will be 100% inventory, so keys may not be there. Wow. But yeah, folks. 100% inventory basically means that small keys can lock themselves, and the big key. Well, it's just perfect example is the Swamp Callus is big key that can lock itself in the big chest, and that's basically how all of the keys will work in this game. We may not need to get every single key. But yes, folks, this is the League Fest Randomizer League Season 2 Ambrosia flags. I'll explain them once again once we get going here. It is OvidiusNaso of Team Link finds a way versus Ninban of the French Canadians. Hopefully you guys heard me that time. But yeah, 100% inventory means that we only care about the main 8 items. Keys do not count, and we are getting started here. Guaranteed boots hint, they're in the Dark World. So something I'll say right now is that, as we get the book in the door here, both our runners have a sword right now, but they don't get to use it until they talk to Uncle. And as we hear, 3 crystals in the Dark Light World, one of which is a 5/6 at Eastern Palace. So, standard mode here, of course, we're doing the initial opening of the game that we normally skip in what we call open mode, in which we have to run through the prologue of the game, if you will, the Hyrule Castle and the escape sequence. And Uncle gives us 20 rupees, and our sword is now active. And a nice bomb drop for Ninban. So those guards do have bombs. Odivius will hopefully get them. Now, other things to note in Ambrosia here, folks, is this is going to be open. It's going to be 7/7 defeat Ganon. So we need all 7 crystals, and then we have to defeat Agatu, just like normal. However, each of the bosses of the dungeons are guaranteed to have one of the non-dungeon items. They cannot have a small key, a big key, a map, or a compass on them in this scene. And other things to note, like I said, 100% inventory, which means things like the Swamp Palace big key, they can lock themselves in the chest. We don't necessarily need them, so they can lock themselves. I believe that about covers it for Ambrosia. So, both our runners are now going through the escape sequence. Odivius, I'm gonna pronounce the name wrong, I'm sorry, has not gotten his hands on any of the bombs that the guards drop. Well, we did see what we got in the second chest there. It was, in fact, a red potion. And we did pick up the small key earlier. Alright, now we're down to Zelda Cell. Forward pack on the green guard there. Very nice. Now, Ovidius gets a little unlucky. There is the guards on the way, as well as the stakes that can potentially drop bombs from. The brats are in a different drop pool. And that shuffle could come into play here as well. Something else I should mention here, folks, as you can see, there is a 0 between by each of our runners' score point, our team names. That is their score currently in the league, and they did not win either of their Week 1 matches. So they are 0-2 in the league currently. Both runners getting Zelda now. Both runners about to leave and enter the escape sequence. There is one nicety this standard has, and you'll notice that we don't have the lamp. That is fine, because the lamp, and we get the light cone for free here in standard mode. We don't need it, but anywhere else we will. And Ninban has been really lucky with the bomb drops. Has a total of 7 going into this back of the escape here. Alright, another item here in Dark Cross. It is only 5 rupees. And because they have bombs, they can now get the last 3 chests before the Sanctuary chest. Oh! Ovidius missing that 4-pack. It's don't look to be dropping anything too important here. 3 chests in the back of the escape. The map. 50 rupees, pretty good. And the Master Sword already. Very nice. And with some extra bombs, Ninban can just come out here and move on. Looking to be about a 6-minute escape for Ninban. Ovidius maybe 6:20. Both very respectable times for getting out of the escape sequence. And some arrows to get us on our way. No bow to shoot them yet, of course. Dodging another bomb on the way. Arrows from the poultry. That was a tier 2 pull, I believe. Some extra money there at the mushroom spot. And I don't know what sprite Ninban is using, actually. We have a shield from the underground spot. Ovidius unfortunately killing the crab before checking the prize. And the lumberjack. Oh boy! That could be important. That is the flippers we see right there. And Ninban did not check. 5 rupees from the hoarder crab as we see now. There's the move pro for Ninban. And a few more bombs. So, the seed is starting to show its teeth a little bit here. We may have an Agassi, but we couldn't have Swamp and Ice both pendants. And really, our runners should be fairly skilled enough with fake flippers, a trick we might see later, that they won't need them if it's just Ice that's required for the flippers. This could be a skippable Aga. We'll see, though. A little bit more money for Ninban there in the Kakariko well. Along with a return on his investment. Alright, 10 bombs, 200 rupees. Pretty good for an early Kakariko. And then that happened. Alright. It's going to be really interesting where our next bit of progression shows up. We have a pretty good combat advantage, pretty good offensive advantage right now, but nothing to get us to the Dark World, nothing to keep us alive in the Dark World if we have to go in there early. Maybe the bar is something for us. It slightly helps, I guess. Quick eye check at the library. Can't get this about the boots. And that is something the Quill Runners will most likely be ignoring. Ninban just gonna scout the race game, not gonna bother partaking. This 50 rupees, gonna keep moving, not saving and quitting as you would normally do, and this is smart. Gonna walk over to the Haunted Grove and check the shovel. And another bottle of the green potion. That's a nice thing to have, if ice is required. Alright, where are you going now, Ninban? Just to be just gonna keep on walking. I think maybe save and quit would have been slightly faster, but I don't know, maybe feels like walking a little bit more today. Alright, South Shore check's coming up. Ovidius is save and quitting. And there's the half magic. Alright. Alright. Sam only has 20 rubies underwater. Gonna move on from that and head over to Mini Moldorm Cave. One of the proverbial hotspots of the game in terms of items. Going with bomb strats with sword beams, very nicely done, very quick clear of the Mini Moldorms. And there is a glove, heart container. The Titan's Mitts, whoa, both gloves right in the same spot. Ladies and gentlemen, we have Dark World access. But no access to the eastern side of Dark World. And that's important to note because we know the flippers are there. So the only way to get there is to either defeat Aghanim or find the hammer. Ninban gonna be using fake flippers to chill ahead and check the Zora checks up here. Don't think he went all the way over to Ice Rod Cave. Makes some sense. There's a little turnaround in the waterfall here so that they are in a walking state. Another heart container picked up there as well. Doesn't quite have enough rupees in order to buy King Zora's item. But there's 300 rupees on the ledge. Gonna hope that killing the enemies here gives an item. Unfortunately, loses the fake flippers in the process, and it looks like they're in the arrow dropping pool. So, not gonna get Zora's item just yet. Alright. Meanwhile, Ovidius is checking Ice Rod Cave. Ninban looks to be heading over to eastern area. I think Ovidius is making a Dark World play here. Sarasrala has 5 rupees, the Tempered Sword, and a heart piece. And that's all Ninban wants. It seems from the eastern area for now. The Tempered Sword is a huge combat advantage going forward. And there's our map check. Skullwoods, Thieves Town, and Palace of Darkness are our pendants. Skullwoods being the green pendant. And I missed where our 5/6 crystal was, but it's somewhere in the south. And with both swamp and ice being flippers required, that means this is an Agassiz, folks. There is no way around it. We need the flippers on Aga to beat Swamp. And the 5/6 isn't Ice Palace, as we see here and now in the map check from Ninban. The video is going to be dipping into Thieves Town here. 4 items in the front. This is a pendant dungeon, so maybe inclined to leave after this. We know one of them will be on blind. Ninban doing the same thing. Gonna check the first 4, I believe. Maybe leave after that. We'll see. 0 for 2 in terms of non-dungeon items. So far, there hasn't been that much divergence between our 2 runners. I expect that to change in the near future, though, with Ovidius having the knowledge that Aga is required. No items in the front of Thieves Town. That does not feel good. And one of them is guaranteed to be hammerlocked at this point. Ovidius is going to take the Death Warp. We'll see if Ninban does the same. And it seems to be the case. Runner's now checking different checks. I think this is the last check Ovidius needs to do here in the Village of Outcasts. Ovidius going to be heading over to the digging game. Ninban looks to be following suit. Ten digs for 10 arrows. Not too bad. It's relatively quick. Ovidius can do a few extra digs to get some of his money back. Still has that golden 500 that might be needed for King Zora. And Ovidius looks to be taking the Smith Frog on a tour, and it looks like Ninban will be doing the same. This makes a lot of sense. You can do a lot of checks down here in South Dark World, and then you just save and quit and turn in the Smith when you're done. Ether has been found. One of the battalions. All right. One of the 3 chances we need that for either Misery Maya or Turtle Rock. We don't know yet. Ovidius heading over to what is Hype Cave. Or what is known to be Hype Cave, anyway. Ninban looking to be making the same play. Alright, 5 items here. Starting off with 20 rupees. Followed by 300. Another 20. Arrows. And a heart container. That is most certainly a dud shape. However, that does give Ninban Zora money. And they both now have more than enough money to finish the seed. Ovidius is now going to check the shovel, which we know is a green bottle. Ninban Mio is going to head straight over to town, turn in the Smith. There's not a lot our runners can do now that I think about it. Ninban almost muscle memorying and going back to Dark World without the mirror. Boots hit was Dark World. So, I'm looking at the items here, and I'm starting to think that maybe we have something over in Desert, maybe something over in Eastern. One of our earlier dungeons that we have access to, because we have the book. And the Book of Adora might lead to something important. Our runners can't check the tablets, they can check pedestal if they so choose. But I think the book is right now is pointing them to, hey, go check Desert out. And yeah, it makes sense for them to do the promo chest if they're going to head over to the Desert. Once that lamp is found, though, I expect a lot of divergence coming up. Considering Ovidius knows that Agate is required to see with the flippers on Lumberjack. But Ninban doesn't know this. Oh, wait a minute. Ovidius is checking the pedestal. We know the boots aren't here. This is a light world check. And on pedestal we have 10 arrows. Oh, we aren't seeing that today, but that is not to say that any one of our 3 Dark World bosses might have progression on them either. Remember, folks, this is Ambrosia. All bosses have a guaranteed item on them. It is not going to be a map, compass, or key. So for all we know, Blind could be holding the hammer. Alright, our first look here in the desert region from Ninban. Ninban not wasting any time, gonna check the ledge. Head right on in. Now that I think about it, actually, there's not that many Dark World locations left, is there? That I can immediately think of. I can think of maybe Pyramid or Catfish, but either of those locations, and even the Super Bomb, those all require the hammer to be found so we can get over to that side of the Dark World. Alright, small key, big key found. We can't finish Desert at the current point in time because we need a fire suit. And there's one of our 2 items there with the bomb, which means big chest of the map, so which means we are done with Desert. The second item is on Lamola's and will always be on the boss here in these flags. Alright, Agina, what do you got for us? It's starting to look like the eastern area of Light World has some progression that we missed. Wouldn't put it past it, though. Ninban heading this way. Is he gonna check Aga now? Or is he just gonna go straight up the mountain? No, this looks to be back to Dark World. Ah, Skull Woods. Yeah, that is the location we haven't been to yet. Only 1 item there, yeah, but could be something we need. And there's still 3 items in Thieves Town if you want to go bother going all the way to the back. Alright, big key found in... Let's go woods. You know, Ovidius is checking, and we'll see the item on the torch. Goes for something here, gonna save and quit. And only the compass found. There's nothing there. Ninban gonna get grabbed on purpose to go ahead and get back to the front of the dungeon. Wasn't quite in position for that. Then there it is. There's our progression, folks. Ninban finds it. It is the bow. Now, the Armos Knights are still not technically in logic. We do need a fire source to get over to them. But that is a great piece of mind to have, and will incentivize Ninban most likely to go over to that region. Oh, this may be a current jump, actually. Alright, here comes our first look at Eastern Palace. Ninban is attempting the current jump. This is a setup for Fake Flipper, which will get Ninban over to the east side of Dark World. So far, we have not seen anything important for Ovidius here in Eastern. Just the compass has been found. Ninban is heading over that way now, though. So the lamp is found, which it hasn't been just yet. Ninban has a little bit of advantage here, but I think the overall advantage is still in Ovidius with the knowledge that agate is 100% unavoidably required. Ninban has not checked Lumberjack Ledge. He does not know the flippers are there. Potentially first item here in Eastern. Nope. Oh, at least one item is fire locked. Actually, both items are fire locked. So unless this is the lamp, Ovidius will be logic breaking to get the other two items. Or at least the other item. It is the red boomerang. Oh, while we got a moment here, folks, because Ovidius has to go through these dark rooms. Quick shout out to Mind of Me there in chat. She is our tracker tonight and keeping me honest here in the booth. It is not an easy job to accommodate solo, but I'm having a great time with the same. Alright, Ovidius on his way to check the big key chest. Only bombs, so... So, I think by process of elimination, Zora has a fire source. Unless it's in the back of Thieves Town, which would be exceptionally rude, but we'll see. Alright, Ovidius, I see what you're doing here, and I applaud you. He's gonna be sequence breaking Death Mountain here. We're in the darkest for our runners at the time being. These are both fairly easy dark rooms, at least. Alright, we see Ninban once again. And Ovidius has gotten the old man through the dark. And rewarded with 300 rupees. Now, Ovidius' time on the medal will be short-lived here. We'll only be able to see what's on Spectacle Rock and what's in Spectacle Rock. Ninban, meanwhile, is gonna go through the other dark rooms here in Eastern Palace and finish off the Armos Knights. But continues on Spectacle Rock. Ovidius discovers the 10... Oh, it's only 10 arrows. They're inside Spectacle Rock. That's all the items that Ovidius will be finding. Ninban is out of the dark rooms, heading over to the Armos Knights now. So we'll be able to light the first crystal of the match, but it is not in sequence. Ovidius looks to be heading over to Thieves Town at this point. Ninban setting up for the quick kill on the Armos Knights. Gets it done nice and clean. And the Armos Knights have the mirror! So that's our access to Hera, but we now know there's a fire source involved. So I'm concerned where our lamp is at this point. And I'm going to agree with someone here in chat. This does put Ninban ahead in terms of progress on the seed, but will be out of logic until the lamp is found. Ninban will have to keep that in mind as he progresses through it. Ovidius heading up to the first item here in Thieves Town. If you're just now tuning in, all 4 items are in the back here in Thieves Town. Only the dungeon items are up front. And there's the lamp. That puts the mirror in logic. That puts the Armos Knights in logic. That was the missing piece of the puzzle. And that puts Hera in logic. But more importantly, as Chad is pointing out, it puts Ag in logic, and Ovidius knows the flippers are required to be picked up at Aghanim. They're in the grave. Or the lumberjack tree, my bad. Current jump successful this time on Ninban's part. We'll be checking Catfish and as well as Zora. What's currently keeping Ninban away from... Yeah, when is he gonna check the Lumberjack ledge now? Probably when he finds the boots. Which you know are in Dark World somewhere. And I think at this point, they have to be on the pyramid. Unless there's some other check I'm not thinking of. Oh, hammer pigs, I haven't thought of that yet. And there's a few... Well, actually, no, those would be Light World, wouldn't they? Boss has killed 20 rupees on blind. Ah, Dark Death Mountain is considered Dark World. I did not know that. So they could be up there as well. And we don't have access to the eastern side of Dark Death Mountain, though. We need that hammer to show up. I'm starting to think it's in Hera. Alright, Ovidius is pulling the trigger on Ago. This will give him logical access to Eastern Palace. Or Palace of Darkness, my bad. And as we know, Agate is required because the flippers on Lumberjack, but we don't have the boots yet to pick them up anyway. This may be Ninban heading into Thieves Town and finding the lamp, which will restore the logic. Yeah, we still have Hera that's in logic. The issue right now is we don't have a collective. That our logic is clearly collective at this point. Neither runner, or rather both runners are missing a piece of the puzzle. Ovidius is missing the bow, which gets the mirror for him. Meanwhile, Ninban is missing the lamp, which puts Hera and Desert into play. And eventually Aghanim as well. Their bottle found, gonna leave it behind. So far, pretty good climb from Ovidius. And this is a very rare chance here. Folks, we have a mini-game we like to play. It's seated between for both runners how many blue balls Aga will shoot out at you. Give us a number. 1 to 15 at most. Or 0 to 15. I'm gonna say it's 2. Let's see how kind this Aghanim is today. Almost not paying out there for Ninban. Moving on. So if you haven't seen the Aghanim fight before, first shot's guaranteed to be an orange shot. Afterwards, it is a chance of being an orange shot, which you deal damage to Aga to reflect. Oh, but that's a miss! Or a blue shot that you can't reflect. Wow, I'm calling them right as they happen. And it's 6 orange shots to win the day. So we gotta know there was only 2 in the first pass. So we got 2 blue balls. There's the actual third hit, second hit. There's the third. There's the forfeit. We're on 3 blue balls. We're gonna guaranteed hit here. So it was a 3 blue balls, regardless of that miss. And with that, Aga's defeated him for Ovidius. Only 20 rupees on the ledge, so we'll see where Ovidius goes next. Probably into Palace of Darkness, or maybe the Catfish as well. Both runners are desperately looking for those boots, but unfortunately, it looks like it's out for on Dark Death Mountain here. Either that or Hammerlocked. And yeah, as Chad is pointing out here, we do have a required Aghanim seed. Flippers are on Lumberjack, which is required to enter Slump and Ice Palace this seed. So, yeah, kind of need those. Almost on the Ether Tablet. So that's access. Well, not quite. It's not access to Ice Palace yet. We don't have the flippers, obviously. And we are now in Hera with Ninban. Ninban without the hookshot of the boots cannot do Hera Pod to get up to the top of Hera without getting the big key. And the big key looks to be in the basement anyway, so gonna have to leave it behind. Both runners seem to be converging on checking the flippers checks, even though they both don't have the flippers. At this one, we know what the Steve wants us to do. It's just that neither runner has all the pieces of the puzzle. And they're both unavoidable pieces as well. Ninban needs to get the lamp to go and finish Hera as well as Desert. Whereas Ovidius needs to go to the one and only item available in Skull Woods to get the bow, to get the mirror from the Armos Knights. Oh yeah, I did forget about Meyerstedt too. Alright, Ninban doing another fake flipper. This will most likely be to Hobo, considering there's not many checks left. No, going into ice! And that is the one bad thing, as you can see here on Ovidius, is the Dark World has gotten, or Light World rather, has gotten into more dangerous enemies around the world. Think of it as a hard mode, if you will. Killing the Pain Gators. Got some much needed help, and inside the first chest here in Ice Palace is a small key. Now, if Ninban's doing dungeons which require the hammer to complete, I think Ninban's gonna eventually concede and go to Thieves Town, which will put him on the right track. Because that is pretty much the one dungeon you want to go in with the hammer. First chest in Palace of Darkness is a small key. So not locked out just yet there. There has been a crystal. It is on Ninban's side with the defeat of the Armos Knights. Alright. Only a small rupee here. And I think this has to be a small key down here, otherwise this is bow lock. Big key. Confirmed, bow locked COD. Which should tell Ovidius that he's missing something. And choose to continue onward though for the time being. Bring some MP out of the magic to drink the green potion for the potion glitch. Ninban also find the big key here in ice. And Ovidius has successfully done the potion glitch. You can see the camera is not meant to do this. And there we go. Trick the enemies to be off screen. You can now get over here. Only a map bound for Ninban, I think. They are locked out of Ice Palace here. They need the hookshot now. Going to attempt a bomb jump. Ovidius, meanwhile, is going to do a death warp. Alright, Ninban has run out of checks here. Those usually is a guaranteed eye on the boss, so he's gonna head down that way. Meanwhile, Ovidius is gonna attempt to do what we know as... Oh no, he's gonna opt out of doing the hammer jump. Oh, that is huge! That is the flute found for Ovidius in the compass chest of Palace of Darkness. So that's where our next bit of progression lied. Defeat Aghanim to get the flute. Or at least as far as we know. So the order of operations was go to Pendant Skull Woods to get your bow out of the big chest. Go to Pendant in Thieves Town to get your lamp out of the attic chest. Go defeat Aghanim. Go defeat the Armos Knights so you can get your mirror. And then go to Pod. Ninban at this point is last location the lamp. So it will be put back on course. There's the hookshot too though for Ovidius! And the compass. Which I think at this point we knew it had to be there. But those are two very important items to find. That opens up Dark Death Mountain and Mire Shed so Ovidius can get the boots. Unless they are hammer locked. And I'm not surprised with this, wasting no time going to the mountain. Don't you love stages that have required items dependent on this, by the way? I don't think our runners do. Anyway, Ninban will be getting the lamp here shortly. And now we're seeing what we call the Paradise Cave here. 7 items. The most item-dense overworld location in the game. There's the lamp for Ninban. And there's the fire rod. For Ovidius. That was only in the pair of chests here in Paradise Cave. Here goes the next 5. The gold sword. The single arrow. 20 rupees. Heart piece. And another heart piece. So Ovidius now with the fire rod. That's gonna open things up a little bit more, I think. I think, actually, with the fire rod, that is going to incentivize Ovidius to actually do Skull Woods, which will net him the bow, which will net him, in turn, the mirror on the Armos Knights. So Ovidius looks to be on the right track here. We'll see if he follows that line of pathing, though, once he's done here with the mountain. But knowing where the boots are, or at least the hint of the boots, probably going to prioritize the Dark World first. Ninban having a very clean blind fight. Getting tagged by a fireball, but that was during the phase transition. Very textbook fight. And a couple of rage bombs at the end of the fight. Ninban knows he's in logic. Now the question is, where does he go next? Ninban heading to Hera. Spooner Cave has the heart piece and the fire shield. Alright, this is one of our last few locations here in Dark World. First, we're going to see the medallion requirement for Turtle Rock. It is the Bombos tablet. Or the Bombos medallion, sorry. Which we do know is on the Ether tablet. We're going to see the top of Hera here now from Ninban. Still need those boots, which are somewhere out there. There's the hammer, though. In Hookshot Cave. And there's the boots! Ovidius in the driver's seat now. Living up to the team name here, I believe. So, looking at what we're missing here, we still need the bow for Ovidius, which we know where it is, the mirror, which we know. And we're just missing the cane of Samaria, the ice rod, the flippers, which we know. Yeah, it's ice rod, cane of Samaria, and Quake if it's necessary for Misery Mire. And based on where those boots and the hook and the hammer was, as we find the cape in the other boots location, it's a double required Aghanim to see. Ninban needs to go to Pod to get the hook shot to get the hammer and the boot. And the only way to do that is to defeat Aghanim, at least in logic. And Ninban doesn't know the flippers are there on Lumberjack. Which, as we see now, Ovidius has picked up. Has access to Swamp. Oh, got a poke in. Alright, molder him down. Loot coming online now for OvidiusNaso. This race is getting really exciting here. Because of all the regression Ovidius has found, I don't think Ovidius is gonna go to Skull Wood to check for the bow. Unless he's proving me wrong right now, to which I say, he's a mind reader. Well played. Now this looks to be hammer pegs. Ninban, meanwhile, is going to finish Desert. And I think at this point, Ninban will be locked out and have no other choice. It is an Agassi. And we'll probably Kern jump again. Just to skip Agadim. Alright, Ninban on the way to the Moth. Or the Land Ball, sorry. Speaking of had the wrong boss on my mind. Ovidius is going into Desert as well. I think Ovidius at this point is in just... You haven't done a single dungeon crystal in an hour. It's time to change that. I think that's what Ovidius is doing right now. He is severely behind in Crystal Town for an hour-long scene. Maybe shooting a few arrows at the Lambolas to try to soften them up. Nice double kill there at the end. All for 100 rupees. Alright, Ninban, where are you going? Ninban heading out of Sanctuary. Ovidius now has the crystal lid for Desert. That is the first crystal on Ovidius' end. Does have a bit of ground to make up, but has pretty much most of the tools to do so. Ovidius is going to be heading into Ice Palace next. This will be a good second crystal to grab. We know there's nothing of there of importance just yet. Gonna check here. Oh, we haven't seen Hobo yet, actually. This is smart. Checking Hobo first. Alright. Ovidius gonna be heading over to Ice Palace. Ninban is setting up the Kern jump. Taking his frustrations out on... Alright, so Ninban just did a backup there, known as splash deletion. He basically overloaded the game so it could not do the check to set whether or not you're in, you have the flippers. Good backup from Ninban, good backup. To be honest, I know there's like a very complex setup for the splash deletion, but I don't know how to do it, to be perfectly honest. I just know you just fire a few arrows, play a couple bombs, and then all of a sudden you've overloaded the sprite player enough that it won't check. Yeah, it's a part of the Ancilla glitches. And I haven't studied them. Just, I'll be very transparent. I haven't studied them yet. I know of their existence, and that's about it. Anyway, Ninban heading to Palace of Darkness here. Will find the flute. Will find the hook shot. Alright. So first look at some more of the items here in Ice Palace. These were hammer-locked when Ninban did the check earlier. And there's the ice rod in Ice Palace. That's one of the two pieces before we are in a potential no mode. The other piece is the Cane of Samaria. Ninban out of bombs. That could be very important here going forward inside of Palace of Darkness. Almost out of arrows too. We just get to refill here. Ovidius grabbing a guaranteed fairy spawn there. Or at least a dungeon fountain. And here's our look at Cold Stare. This is the other item we have not seen in Ice Palace. There's the flute for Ninban. Cold Sword making short work of the puffs. Armor on the ice boss that normally has armor in the dungeon. Nice. That is the second crystal now for Ovidius, with having Desert defeated as well. Ninban attempting the hammer jump. And Ninban now has the hookshot and the flute. Ovidius heading up topside here. Without the mirror, has to go this way to go to Hera. And this will net Ovidius Bombos outside of Hera in the Ether Tablet as well. Alright, flute coming online now for Ninban. There's the Bombos medallion now for Ovidius as well. Runners have broken through the siege gap that was on the sea, pretty much. Best way I can describe it. Still missing a few pieces of the puzzle on each side, though. Ovidius needs the bow out of Skull Woods in order to get the mirror on the Armos Knights. Meanwhile, Ninban needs to get the hammer and the boots and the fire rod off of Death Mountain. And then head back into the Ice Palace to get the ice rod. And it's one medallion fits all, folks. Bombos is required for both dungeons. And this is our first look at the Mire region as well. There's the Cane of Samaria, folks. Ladies, we are now in no mode. We now collectively know where everything is in the sea that is required to beat the game. Ninban picking up that Cane of Samaria in Mire Shed. And there's the other bow! So if Ovidius goes to Mire, that's it! That will be game, I think. Wouldn't have the mirror immediately, but it's on a required boss. Ovidius looks to be checking Spike Cave with the cape in hand. Ninban about to uncover the fire rod, the hammer, and the boots. And actually, once Ninban does that, he just needs to go to ice for the ice rod. And then he's in go mode. The race is converging at a very interesting point here. Alright, Ninban still needs the flippers as well. I almost forgot about that. Ninban still doesn't know the flippers are in Aga 1. But I think he'll deduce that it's required after checking the lumberjack now with the boots in hand. Here's Ovidius checking the mire area. This is what he needed to do. Sees that it's Bombos. There is the Cadence of Maria for Ovidius. And Ovidius is not going to check Checkerboard Cave just yet. Going instead to opt to fight Vitreous first. Makes sense to me. Finish the dungeon first, then check Checkerboard. Oh right, he doesn't have the mirror, so that's intended silver. You're right, I forgot. He needs the bow out of Skullwoods. I completely missed that. So he can't get the bow on Checkerboard. He needs the mirror. And the mirror is hard bow locked by the Armos Knight. So he has to get the one in Skullwood. There's no other bow to get. There's the hammer, and there's the boots for Ninban. Man, what a scene! Lots of twists in this one, I like it. Ninban, unfortunately dead-rocked here, cannot move onwards. And this looks like a Turtle Rock dip for Ninban. Nope, just checking the medallion and leaving. Heading to ice first. Just realized he doesn't have the flippers. And those flippers, as we know, are required. At this point, pretty safe to say that flippers will be Ninban's go mode, and Ovidius' go mode will be the mirror. So no matter what, the last dungeon we're clearing is Swamp, I think. Or maybe it'll be Swamp Turtle Rock, it depends. Alright. Staphos being defeated by Ninban. Ovidius is checking the cutscene chest. It's the big key. That's something I haven't seen before. I haven't seen you pick some position with the hammer like that before. That was kind of clever from Ninban. There's the one item on in the dungeon, so it's now down to going to go see Vitreous. So I'm going to take this time to venture to go ahead and follow our runners here. They've been an excellent race express thus far. And I'm just going to sit back and let the racers move for a little bit here. Just enjoy watching them go. Alright. Ooh. Both simultaneous bosses going on here. Coaster getting away from Ninban. And Cave Strat's being brought out for Vitreous. That's another crystal for each runner. Alright, so the question is where are our runners going next? Ninban looks to be heading to Mire. Ovidius looking for Turtle Rock to be the answer here. That is a sensible play. There are 5 items there. Really comes down to which runner checks the location they need to check first. And unfortunately, Ovidius is getting dead rocked here severely. Yeah, thankfully, at this point, Ovidius will only have 2 dungeons available to him. Palace of Darkness or Skullwoods. And I think, based on just the fact that Skullwoods is the green pendant, Ovidius will check Skullwoods first, and we'll find the bow as a result. Because the bosses have a guaranteed item, fighting them off is guaranteed to give Ovidius 2 items. So there's a little bit more incentive to do Skullwoods over getting the 1 item off of the Helmosaur King. Ninban's probably feeling ahead thinking he's broken Aghanim, but unfortunately, as we know, Aghanim is unavoidable this seed. Alright, we're going deeper here into Turtle Rock. Those chain tails hurt a lot. Second highest source of damage in the game. First is Ganon himself. Of course, folks, I have yet to mention this yet, that if you are a fan of either one of these teams, do stay tuned because their second game for Week 2 is immediately following this one. It will be 2 different runners representing the teams, and hopefully a much nicer season than this one. Key for a key there. Ninban on his way to Vitreous. I don't know if Ninban has set up Spooky yet. Gonna at least try for it, and there was a frame stop. I think he may have gotten it. He did. And both runners had her at a single heart. Ovidius getting out the Bombo strats. Pokebobos do not like fire. And a lucky berry drop for Ovidius. Ninban has to be a little bit careful here. Does not have enough silvers to kill all the eyes. Taking careful hits here. Careful not to walk too ahead into the slime before killing the boss. Well fought by Ninban. That's a full magic from Ovidius there as well. And there is our 4th bottle. We have seen the 3rd in Cave 45, also known as Cave South of Grove. But that was only had a bee in it, and neither one picked it up. Ninban heading to Turtle Rock. Nice speed boost there from Ninban. Ovidius using the cape to great effect here. Needs to find the key here on the bridge. There it is. And taking the checkpoint. As Ninban enters Turtle Rock, Ovidius is looking to finish. So eyes on Ovidius right now, because where he goes next will determine a little bit about the seed. Well, let's get to phase one. Gonna get one single head shot off here. Looking for a double spin, which will recoil them back to the back left corner, which will let him line up a slash. Did not get the double spin there. Played it safe. Well done. Very clean try next fight. All right. Ovidius, where are you going next? Alright, Ovidius, you're fluting to 3. This is gonna be Skullwoods. That is the right call Ovidius needed to make. Kern Jump is a fake flipper setup in the Dark World, which lets you use the northern part of the river to head over to the Dark World Potion Shop. Ovidius is checking the front of Skullwoods first. Ninban takes a death in Turtle Rock! Not sure if that was deliberate or not. I think it was to the chain shops. There's the big key. Ovidius is gonna check a little bit further. Those chain chomps hurt for a lot. Like I said, second highest source of damage in the game versus contact damage from Ganon. And ladies and gentlemen, there is Ovidius's bow. Actually, I just realized this was his only option. He couldn't get to Helma's King without the bow. Gonna check them off just in case it is the mirror, which makes sense. So there is a little bit of time for Ninban to make up here. It's gonna come down to whoever can clear Swamp House the fastest. But Ninban's playing with fire here. Only 2 hearts, could easily die. Woo! Oh, the shield blocked the fireball. And that is why I love that fire shield. For that right there. Alright, time for them off. Ovidius does have Turtle Rock cleared, so all he needs to do is defeat the Moth and head over to Skullwoods, or not Skullwoods, Eastern Palace. Another piece of heart on the Moth, and does pick up the green pendant. Alright. Ovidius knows it's somewhere in Eastern. I do not believe Ninban has done his boost checks, no. And one of the things he would probably do is check Aghanim during those checks, or the Lumberjack Ledge, and find out to his disgust that this is an Agaseed. That will most likely be what he does next. Not even checking the green pendant, heading straight into Eastern. And Ovidius has already been in here. So just needs to get the key, or go fight the Armos Knights. Ninban heading into Trident's only 2 hearts. 3 hearts, even. Oh, going for the 1 cycle. Didn't pull the fire rod. Works to the head to redirect. No! Gets tagged! That's gonna be devastating. It's not that much of a walk, but it's still a significant walk all the same. That's about a minute lost. And ladies and gentlemen, here are the Armos Knights for Ovidius. And ladies and gentlemen, at 1:43:06, OvidiusNaso is now in go mode. Swamp Palace left to clear, and he can jet right through. There's the menu. Unfortunately, misses the one cycle. And does the eyes again! Oh no, Ninban! Come on, man, take a breath. You got this. Alright, Ovidius entering Swamp Palace. Ninban choosing to play it safe. Alright, that's crystal number 6 for Ninban. Where does he go next? He's still in 3. I believe this is going to be North Dark World checks and boots for Ninban. No, this is a hammer pace, my mistake. Alright folks, Ovidius is now fighting Argus. Alright, first phase done. Alright, folks. With that heart and that crystal pickup, we have all 7 crystals, which means we have a game we like to play. We have 22 chests in Ganon's Tower. Only one of which can have our big key, which will let us get to the very end of this seed. You're already giving us their numbers in chat, that you know what you're doing. We're guessing which chest has the big key in it today in the order we open them in. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm going to go ahead and put my guess here in chat. I'm going to say it is chest number 4 that we find it in. I know I'm not the first one to guess that, but who knows? Maybe someone else will be lucky enough. As to why I'm picking 4? See, it's just gotta be kind of the near the end, right? I'm hoping. Ninban is doing all he can to avoid Aga. Gonna be checking Skull Woods here. Alright. We're now closing it as we see what chest has the big key here in Gan's tower. First chest we find has the map, second chest has a piece of heart. Have to go right side. Third item, even though we're not picking that up, is the bombs there on the torch. Up next is chests 4, 5, 6, and 7 here in the Stalfos room. Also known sometimes as Dark Magician room because of a routing strategy that was coined by a certain runner. Fourth chest was the red mail. Fifth chest was a small key. Sixth chest also a small key. Piece of heart in chest number 7. Checking the pedestal. Check number 8 was another heart piece there for Ovidius. I believe this is Ninban's very last check before he knows it's Aga. Through process of elimination. And the green minute turn-in is just 10 arrows. Still has Helma, but keep in mind, folks, the hammer was locked by the hookshot, which was in Pod, and Pod was unbreachable otherwise without the hammer. So he's checking Lumberjack to be absolutely sure, and he's gonna find it. Too little too late, Ninban. There's your flippers. And he is not happy. And to be honest, I don't blame him. Anyway, we haven't been keeping track of the chest here, but it hasn't been there, which is, I believe, chest 14, so it is right side, unless it's behind the Ironmost here. Attempting to slash the Armos away. Interesting decision there, trying to save some arrows for the climb. $15. Small key, 16. 20 rupees, 17 piece of heart. It's right side. Gonna be checking the compass chest first. There it is. Chest number 18. With chest number 21 having the Quake medallion. So congratulations to whoever guessed 18 in chat. The very ominous username Pit of Blood is the winner of this mini game of our big guessing today. I don't think I need to say any more than that. Anyway, Aghanim is being fought now by Ninban. He is in a go mode through proxy of information. And we are now ascending again his tower here on Ovidius. And you can see Ninban is defending a little bit. And this should be the last day for Ninban. Yes, it is. So Ninban now has access to Lumberjack tree and the Flipper he now has sought after for so long. I like that actually. It's not rage, it's swag with aggression. Alright, the Lambos and thus the Gauntlet are clear from Ovidius. And with this, Ninban is now officially in go mode. 158.29. The sad part is I just realized this was a pseudo all dungeons. Because we have the required bow in Skullwoods, the required ocarina and hookshot in Pod, and these don't have the required lamp. All 3 repentant dungeons had to be dipped. This was not a great seed to get. Alright, Ovidius is on the final floor here. Ninban now entering Womp. There's our regular boomerang. Molder 2 has fallen. 10 arrows in Molderm's chest. Which would have been a nice refill if Ovidius had the silvers, but based on where they were, he was not getting them. That being, of course, in Checkerboard Cave. As you fight, same rules here. You're seated between both of our runners, provided they do not die. And it's still 6 hits. But because the duplicates fire a guaranteed shot, the fight generally goes by a little faster. That looked to be a triple there, so one more hit should be all we need. There it is. And with Agatu Town, it is now time for Ovidius to fight the pig. Gold sword in hand, it will be 6 slashes in the first 2 phases to advance Ganon to his 3rd phase, which he will start stomping the ground after every time you hit him. After 4 hits, he will enter his final phase, the Darkness Technique. Keep the torches lit. And because we don't have the silver arrows, Ovidius will have to do a hit just as Ganon teleports away. Spins are more consistent because of a longer spot. And it'll be 12 spins to win the day. Has to dodge that bat along the way, though. That bat has reverse knockback in phases 3 and 4. Getting hit by it doesn't have any knockback normally, but if you're tilting one direction on the control stick, you're gonna go the other way. You essentially force yourself into the pit. Oh no, and misses the torch glitch. This fight just got a little bit harder. And Ovidius takes a fall. I'm actually gonna say that's an okay thing. They'll have a different cycle on Ganon. But because of the fall, he saved his magic, and thus he can try again to get the torch glitch. And you really need the torch glitch for a Ganon fight. When you're doing Silverless, it saves you so much magic. Ninban, meanwhile, his done with Swamp is now... I've never seen that before. Is now heading over to Ganon's Tower. I've never seen the hookshot prevent you from getting caught by the bird like that. So first two phases go by cleanly. This third phase was initially seeded so the runners in the same RNG on the first pass. This is no longer the case for Ovidius. He is at the mercy of the RNG now. Three hits in. Fourth hit. I'd imagine again, there's a quick teleport, he'll stun him real quick. Nope, dodge the fire event and just spam torch. There we go, torch good set up. That torch on the right will never go out, thus saving a lot of magic in this fight. This is the torch and falls again! That one was definitely not intended. If the first one wasn't. Alright, attempt number 3 for Ovidius. In the third phase for Heather cleanly. Gets into phase 4. Quick teleport. Gets the torch glitch. Ninban doing the tile room, trying to save some time. Alright. Ovidius taking his time. Fallen twice to Ganon already. He's doing spin strats. Gonna wait a moment here. Relight the torch. Catch Ganon when he teleports back. You can see just a very small time every now and then in which Ganon raises his hands before he teleports. That is the timing of the spin. It is fairly tight. And you can do normal slashes as well, but good luck hitting that time frame. And there it is. That is GG for Ovidius. A very difficult but very well fought fight all the same. There's the big key for Ninban as well. And that is going to be first place for Ovidius with an official SRL time of 2 hours, 8 minutes, 1 second. GG's to OvidiusNaso and Team Link finds a way. And not 10 seconds later, Ninban has actually forfeited from the race. This was a struggle for both runners, I'm not even going to lie. I will hopefully see if Ovidius wants to take an interview. Alright. So, folks, while we're waiting for Ovidius to join us for an interview here, let me go ahead and give you guys the schedule here in the meantime. Immediately following this race, and in a very short amount of time, in fact, we have Let's French Canadians and Link of Finds a Way's second team fight here. It will be I have the notes here somewhere. It'll be Rywick versus Curry Vane coming up next here in a little bit. Meanwhile, we do have another match here at the Link Pass Randomizer League starting in a few minutes here. 16-bit Nerds versus the Longshot, Split Heel versus Diesel Martini. That is on the Link Pass Randomizer League. And we are now joined by, I hope I pronounced this right, OvidiusNaso? GG, Steve, sir.
My opponent there. Thank you. It is OvidiusNaso.
Okay. So, this seed was really difficult for the both of you. It came down to more or less last locations on both of your parts.
Yeah, I was nervous, I would say, for the whole race, because I know Ninban's a really good racer. And I like to skip Skullwoods, and I think it helped me in the end, I guess.
Well, it did indeed, because the one thing that gave us a very good purview of the seed here as a whole was not even 5 minutes in, was not even 10 minutes in which you checked the Lumberjack. Ninban never checked it until it was his last location.
I think the Lumberjack check there, I felt ahead. And then I thought about checking Ped at that point, but I figured, well, I don't know if Ninban checks Lumberjack, so I felt pretty good. But I couldn't find Lamp, and I didn't have boots anyways, even though I knew they were in the Dark World, so I didn't really want to go to Aga yet.
Yeah, this was I'm gonna be honest, this was not a good seed.
I do have to say though, knowing that Ninban's a good runner, every once in a while there was just something in the seed that at least gave me hope, whether it was finding Ice Rod, I think, in Ice Palace, where I thought he might go there later, and being able to full clear Turtle Rock in one go, or last, well, not last locationing, but finding the mirror for go mode helped a lot, I think.
Yes, well, unfortunately, Ovidius, we would love to talk to you a little bit more, but unfortunately, your next team's race is coming up here in a matter of moments. So we have to get off the mic and make way for them, folks. So make sure to follow Ninban and OvidiusNaso here, put on an excellent race for us today. Also make sure to follow SpeedGaming, SpeedGaming's future so you don't miss any racing action, not just the Link to Pass Randomizer League. Also make sure to follow our tracker, Mind of Me, and of course myself if you wish. And of course also make sure to follow the Link to Pass Randomizer League and the Link to Pass Randomizer League 2 through 4. Those are our dedicated Twitch featuring channels as well. I'm going to get off the mic, make way for the next race here, folks. Stay tuned. The French Canadians and Link Up Finds the Way, second race of week 2, coming here in a matter of moments. We'll see you guys in a little bit.